All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio. You already know what time it is. And right here, we are actually joined by a phenomenal, up and coming, independent punk rock band. That's right. We got Chuck Spadina right here, live on 99.9 on YouTube, and of course, the radio station airwaves as well. How are you guys doing this evening?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Doing great.
I got to say, definitely, the feeling is definitely mutual, man. You never go wrong. You know, it's 4 days until Christmas. I hope your guys' holiday season is treating you well this far, because down here in Canada, we're preparing for a really bad snowstorm, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, that's the worst. We haven't had very good weather in Alberta either. We woke up to minus 40 this morning here in Alberta, so it's pretty gross. Pretty gross right now. How about you guys?
I think I woke up to -4, so you know your guys' temperatures. I'm not ready for that, man. Like, I don't mean to be rude, man, but you guys can definitely have that, and please don't bring it to the East Coast.
Yeah, it felt like
but it's a
minus
dry
45.
cold.
We don't get like weather like that down here in Ontario anymore, man. I think the last time I really remember at least -30 was at least 5 years ago. Like I actually have not been able to ice skate on a pond in almost about 10 years because it's always been too warm.
Yeah, I just ran from host to truck today, and then same when I got to work, I ran from the truck into work and tried to hide out as much as I could today without facing the weather. So
yeah, they closed.
Hey,
-40.
I don't blame you. But I know you guys are really busy, so I'm going to dive right into this, man. But for the individuals that aren't familiar with you guys, I was wondering if you can actually introduce yourselves individually.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I can start, guys. My name's John. I sing and play guitar for Chuck Spadina. I play the rhythm guitar. I'll turn it over to Al.
I played lead guitar, backup vocals mostly. I got a song or two that I might sing along on though, or whatever, but mostly lead and backup vocals.
And I'm Michael, and I play bass, and I have a song that I sing as well. I'm trying to do some backups wherever it fits and stuff too. Yeah.
And I gotta say, just first and foremost, man, you guys are literally such a phenomenal band. You know, since I actually first discovered you guys, I've been jamming to them all on my own personal time. And I gotta say, your guys' album, and I know we're gonna get into that throughout the interview, but I just gotta say, your guys' new album, absolutely phenomenal. I'm definitely excited for the second installment.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. Like they're not overly complex songs, but when it comes to music and the amount of time you put into it and the hard work you put in it, like it pays off. And we put a lot of hard work in, so we super appreciate getting comments like that about the hard work that we put in the album.
But the one thing I got to ask you guys, man, is how did you guys actually come together to form this phenomenal band? Because obviously, I know every band has an origin story. Like, how did you guys all meet?
I'll take that one, Al. So Al and I played another band for a lot of years called the Buttes, and it was kind of like just a 3-chord rock kind of punk rock band that we were playing in, and we had this idea to try to cook up a punk cover band as a side project. So we cooked up this punk cover band called Some Effects. And we had, a variety of kind of like 90s skate punk covers that we were working super hard on. And we were playing a lot of Millencolin and No Effects and a lot of stuff from that kind of, neck of the woods. And then from there, it kind of grew in over one summer where I started writing some music pretty heavily. And I brought the originals over to the guys, and they were feeling the songs too. And, we kind of ran with it from there, and we put the cover tunes on the back burner and started trying to put together a set of, just all original music. And that was kind of the birth of the band,
And those covers that you guys actually did, are they actually available on the internet for the Chuck fans to actually go back and listen to these earlier releases? Or was that just something you guys did in your free time and kind of didn't really upload those to the net?
Yeah, no, we never ended up recording those. I was kind of interested in us doing that at some point, but we never actually recorded them. We only ended up bringing a few of them to a show. But there's tons of stuff. There was 20 or 30 different covers we've been working on at one point.
I gotta say that's cool because when he's at No Facts, it literally he had me at that. I was like, yo, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll hear. I mean, like, we played a show last Friday at the VAT in Red Deer, and we had an opening spot and a little bit of extra time to fill, and some of those covers that we really like, and we're like, let's throw a couple of them in. So in our live performance, it's not unlikely that you'd probably like hear us chuck one or two of our favorites in there.
I gotta say, a lot of great bands do that as well. I mean, even the big bands, when they're actually like performing in arenas, they always throw in a couple tributes here and there. But also,
that's kind of like where we got the big start for me in the punk rock scene started back, kind of in that mid '90s in the real heart and thick of the 90s skate punk scene. So that was a lot of stuff that, I kind of grew up on as a teenager and played in a lot of punk bands as a teenager as well. And, that's where my heart's always been. And then, Al is very like-minded in me and kind of grew up with a lot of the same kind of music. Al's got a big Gob tattoo on his forearm. He's a big diehard Gob fan from back in the day. So, anyway, we share this great rehearsal space in Red Deer with Mike's other band, Intense Reality. So we got talking to Mike, and Mike had this like huge pedigree and love for punk rock. So when we asked him to come in and play some bass, he just fit so well with the tunes we were playing. Mike's quite a bit younger than us, but his heart is right in the same area with that love for 90s skate punk,
And also as well, during the interview with Trashed Ambulance, actually a few days ago, Josh actually revealed that yourself, John, at one time you actually auditioned for the band. I was wondering if I can actually get your take on that audition, and of course, like, how did you ultimately land that opportunity to audition for them years ago?
Yeah, I think Josh and those guys, they had an ad, I think, on like a Kijiji or something like that. They were looking for a guitar player. So I messaged them and he said, hey, well, he sent me a link for a song and he said, play this little bit of a song. So I sent him back the video and he said, hey, well, we'd like to meet up. Let's go for lunch or something. So I met up with him and a few of the other bandmates from Trashed Ambulance for a lunch, and we talked over a few things. But I think I spent a bit too much time talking about all the other bands I played in. And I think they were looking for someone that was going to be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more dedicated. And I kind of had a lot on the go and a pretty full plate. So it didn't work out. Josh and those guys are great fellas, though. We had a great time Friday playing with them. The show was, it was a packed house. It was a great time.
And also as well, while we're actually on the topic of the Red Deer show, man, I actually had that in the question list. But speaking of that show, because I do know that you guys are super busy. You guys are pushing this album, pushing this phenomenal music. Do you guys actually have any more shows actually lined up for 2022 or early 2023? That way our listeners can kind of come out and buy tickets and just see you guys live in full effect.
Well, we nothing set in stone. However, we've got some CDs on the way here. Where we made CDs of our first album, and we're gonna have to at some point here release the CD formally. So there's probably going to be a show or two from that, but nothing's set in stone right now.
If you guys can, definitely keep me posted, because I would actually love to actually buy a CD from you guys, man. Like, straight up, I'm a CD guy. Like, I don't have a record player. I did, but it broke. So like, I'm a CD guy. So a lot of people, they don't press CDs anymore. So when you guys do get them back, hit me up. I'll definitely buy one from you.
Yeah, it's something we all wanted for a while, and I pushed for CDs with my other band too. I'm a huge CD guy myself too. I still buy CDs from bands.
I hear you, man. I have an old car, man. I have a 2013 Ford, so I don't have like the whole like the streaming stuff. I have to have CDs, right? So when people come out with new records and it's only on vinyl, it's like, man, I can't bring that in my car. Like, come on.
Yeah, I like something that's just nice and portable, and you can just hold it, right? So.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
We looked into the vinyl stuff, but the pricing on the vinyl was terrifying, to say the least. So for a bunch of independent guys trying to put out some music, it was like to even do a limited run on vinyl was through the roof, so the CDs were a lot more, in the budget. I was pushing the guys like, hey, we might even be able to get cassettes for a couple of bucks cheaper than the CDs. Maybe we should go cassette, but records weren't records weren't in the wheelhouse for the budget,
And I even heard with the records as well that a lot of individuals have to wait almost close to a year just to get their pressing back, man. So by that time, you guys will probably already be working on your second album release, man. So the
Might even be out by
demand
then.
is high. True, man.
We
You know
kind
what
of
I mean?
already are.
Yeah,
And-
we got about 9 in the can for the next record already. So we're we've been playing. We're going to kind of play the new record at any gigs we get in the next little while to keep that one nice and fresh. But when we're doing our practices, we're really trying to run through the new stuff, and we're planning on getting back into the studio sometime in the spring here and starting to work on album number 2. So.
And also, right now, you guys are currently signed to Deer City Records. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this particular deal. And of course, how did you guys actually link with that record label to begin with?
John?
Yeah, I'll jump in and take that one, guys. So I do some acoustic music on the side, like some folk kind of folk music that I kind of play on my acoustic guitar. And that stuff got signed by Deer City originally with a gentleman named Jesse Rhodes. And Jesse kind of took me under his wing a little bit with my folk acoustic stuff, and he was getting me some gigs doing folk acoustic, but my heart's always kind of been on the punk rock side of things. So I approached Jesse with the Chuck Spadina project, and I got him to check out a few demos and give us a little bit of a listen. And thankfully Jesse loved it, and he said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's put this record out. I believe in it. His heart was in it. He was an old 90s skate punk rocker too at one point. So Jesse was good enough to kind of believe in the idea behind Chuck Spadina. And he kind of took the album right from start to finish. We recorded it right at his studio in the heart of Red Deer, Alberta. He mixed it, he mastered it, and he recorded all of our tracks. We were just so happy with the way it turned out. It just turned out great. So.
And also as well, on November 4th of 2022, you guys actually released that phenomenal 11-track album that you were actually just talking about, titled Rough Year. I was wondering if you can actually just tell our listeners a bit more about this record. And of course, where can we actually buy or stream ourselves a copy of it today? Because I do know you guys spoke about how you're working on the CDs, but as of right now, digitally, where can our listeners and viewers actually find that phenomenal masterpiece?
I believe you can stream it anywhere that you stream music. I know Mike's the youngest, so he's the most tech savvy of the bunch.
It's everywhere. It's on YouTube. It's on Apple Music and Spotify and iTunes and Bandcamp, and yeah, pretty much everywhere. I mean, a lot of the time when you distribute music digitally, it just kind of goes to all places at once. So the guys at Deer City Records set that up for us mostly. And I think it's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of individuals, man, actually have always asked me, well, why do you ask people where they can stream it? Me personally, I don't use streaming services. I always buy the projects right out. So if they have Bandcamp, I'll actually buy the MP3 files. So when people ask that, I'm like, I don't know how it works. Yeah. I just buy it. I'd rather give artists dollars than pennies, in my honest opinion.
Well, that's appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Just we'll figure it. We'll get a CD to you if you like CDs. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is on Bandcamp.
And we are definitely on Bandcamp too. I mean, that's obviously the number one place to check out Chuck Spadina if you're gonna give the album a listen, or whatever else is through is number one is always through Bandcamp. And we're Mike was on Bandcamp today, loading up some lyrics for the Chuck Spadina songs, and then we're also working on getting some fresh merch that we're going to have on Bandcamp available as well, some stickers and hats and shirts and whatnot that we're going to have available for everybody coming soon. So see where it goes,
And also as well, one of my personal favorite songs actually off this record is actually your guys' first single that you actually released before the album on October 14th, titled I Want to Go to LA. I was wondering if you can actually just tell our viewers the story and inspiration behind this song. And of course, like, did you guys think it was going to be as big as it actually was when you guys first released it? Because that song has been doing some amazing numbers.
Yeah, that was like the first single. We went back and forth on what song we were going to try to roll with first as a release, and Mike, when we were practicing together and hanging out together and stuff, it was like, oh, play that one. His heart was really in that one and had a lot of love for that song. So Mike's kind of love for the song was the kind of the main reason I think that we picked to run with that one out the gate. As far as what the trip or what the song's about, it was about a canceled trip to LA during COVID, and not being able to go. And that was the bummer and the kind of inspiration behind the song. And people seem to dig that one. It gets spun quite a bit, so we couldn't be happier that other people are liking it. And kudos to Mike for picking the right one out of the album to run with.
Kudos to John for writing it.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man.
And when you said a few moments ago about how that trip got canceled, was that actually for like a Chuck show, or was that just a family vacation type thing?
Yeah, it was a business trip I was supposed to go down there for, and I couldn't get out of Canada to take the business trip. So that's kind of the genesis of that. So.
Yeah, the border control was just absolutely terrible during COVID. I didn't try and go across myself, but I heard now the border restrictions are kind of lifted, but I've heard they're actually still there, which is crazy. I don't know if this stuff is ever going to fully end. I don't think the world's ever going to go back to the way it was in 2019.
Yeah, it's strange times for sure, and I'm kind of hoping that all the testing and nose poking and vaccine stuff is over with. I'm sure liking the feel that we had on Friday night over the way it was a couple of years ago in the heart of COVID. It was nice to see everybody out and see familiar faces and getting to play music live, and enjoying friends and enjoying family and stuff that got to come out and play the show. So it's hopefully we're on the right trend here of getting back to normal.
I went to a couple shows actually during COVID, and it was so weird, the atmosphere. Like, everyone was like spaced out, and like they had like literally plexiglass near the stage, and I'm like, yo, like what the heck is going on here? Like, it was just one of those shows where I'm just like, man, I can't believe I paid for this. Like, it didn't feel right.
Yeah, you can appreciate that they tried, right? Because people really wanted something to go and enjoy and experience. And, at the end of the day, on my end, I'm glad that they still tried and they, were doing what they can. But yeah, the way that it is now, it's incredible. Especially at the local level, like these shows that are happening in Reggie are always getting really packed, and it's such a great atmosphere.
And when it comes to shows, man, the one show that I went to after COVID that I really felt like it was like, I kind of had the same feeling you guys did, that everything was kind of back to normal. I went and saw Our Lady Peace, got to go backstage. There was absolutely no plexiglass, no masks. I was like, man, this makes me feel like, pre-COVID, man. Definitely such a phenomenal way to actually like kind of spend the past COVID days, man, and realize that it's over.
Yeah, it's such a great Canadian band you got to check out too. I'm a big Our Lady Peace fan as well. A lot of great tunes coming from those guys back in the heyday.
I gotta say, I definitely agree, man. And they're also really nice guys as well, man. Like, I didn't want to meet them at first because I was like, man, I'm like, what if these guys are like rude? You don't want to meet your heroes, right? Absolutely, I'm glad I paid the money and did it because they were super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome when they kind of hold up to that, that expectation, and it's always nice to meet genuine people.
But also as well, guys, I know you said you have 9 songs done off your up and coming album that's coming out soon. I was wondering, from what you guys are allowed to speak about, because obviously nothing's finished at this point, could you tell us of what our listeners can expect from this up and coming album? And of course, do you guys have like a kind of an idea of what you're going to call the record, or names is kind of up in the air right now?
I have a suggestion out there. I don't even know if these guys remember my suggestion, but it's yeah, we'll just leave it because we don't really have anything yet.
It's pretty early days. I'm getting the sense that, you know, if you liked the first one, you're definitely going to love the second one. I think that the second one so far is just as catchy and is kind of taking like a lot of the best elements of the first one and kind of building on them.
It's Chuck Spadina. Hey, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
The name of the band says it all. If you like the first, you're going to love the second.
What do
Yeah,
you
that's
think,
what
John?
we're hoping for.
Yeah, we're not like going for a whole new sound or anything like that. We're just steamrolling ahead, kind of like with just what we got. We had we had 14, I think, songs for this album. We went with 11 of them. You know, so there's a couple songs left over, and there's like 9 new ones. So, but it's all Chuck Spadina. They're all super exciting for us. We really, you know, Johnny writes most of the kind of melody and general structure of the songs, you know, and he'll send us videos from his garage, and we'll be like, oh yeah, I like that one, or oh, I don't know, whatever, you know, and then we'll bring it into, you know, the jam space, and we'll jam on them. And Johnny's kind of like a bit of like a songwriting factory. Like he just has all these great riffs that he just constantly comes up with. And then, you know, like Jeff, who unfortunately our drummer couldn't make it or whatever, you know, will provide some really cool beats. And then Mike and I'll come in with I do come in with usually a company with some whatever I can write for like a cool harmony guitar part. Mike's got some serious jam on the bass, and he'll come up with his parts, and then that's kind of how we put them all together. And for the most part, all the songs are all written by us, and they're all just Chuck Spadina feel, I think.
But I have to ask,
Yeah.
because obviously we spoke about, you know, your guys' album that's out right now. We spoke about the up and coming album. We spoke about the show that happened a couple days ago. But I have to ask, what is next for you guys as a band aside from the album, man? Is there anything else that we missed during tonight's broadcast? Anything else you guys still do want to touch on or talk about? Well, we still got you here live on 99.9 FM this evening.
Yeah, well, I tell you, the big one for us is like, you know, I've been playing punk rock since 1995, and you know, I know it's a new band, but there's still a lot of heart in this music and a lot of experience, and we've played music for a long time, and the tough part about that is when you're kind of coming in cold with the new band and the new band name, whatever else. So anybody out there that's looking to book a band, we're always trying to find gigs or trying to network and find ways to get any kind of upcoming shows or upcoming festivals or any opportunities that are out there. You know, I've found that to be pretty tough skating so far. Like we applied to be on a few different Alberta festivals that are going to happen next summer, and, you know, tried to share some of our socials and stuff with them, and, you know, kind of letting people know that we have a little bit of a following and people are kind of digging the record, and we're hoping that's going to transpire into getting some better gigs over time and playing some more music in front of people, because yeah, it was just, you know, I really enjoy that. That's where my heart's at, is getting out and playing live music in front of people. It's so much fun.
We also, you know, like, because we've got so many new songs on our roster, there's a lot of focus too on just writing right now. And I don't know if you know, but I live remote. I'm not in Red Deer anymore. So we are writing songs remotely. And so using, you know, video chat or sending videos, sending audio clips, you know, the guys will send me a demo, and then I'll go through the demos and listen to them, whatever, and write some parts and stuff like that. And then send them back. And then, you know, and we try to all have our shit together when we get together to play, and usually we do. And then, but looking for gigs, like Johnny said, but like a lot of like, because we've got just so much new stuff going or whatever, we're pretty hyper focused too on just writing again. Like we just got so much more going on that we want to pump into, you know, a second album. So that's a big thing for us right now is just working on that second album.
And also, before we actually part ways, guys, this is the time in the interview I just give a chance for the individuals to drop not only the band's social media handles, but also the individual members' social medias as well. That way, the individuals can follow not only the band, but also the members that actually put together these phenomenal songs.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Oh, sorry, Doug.
Just any other personal socials you got, Al? Like I don't know. Like I mean, I'm on Facebook under John Miles or whatever, and I think John Rocket 81 on Instagram as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure mine is set up where you can publicly follow me, but I do play in a different band called Intense Reality, and so that's another place to get updates about that too. I think some of my other socials are private though.
Yeah, I don't blame you. This day and age, man, there's a lot of weirdos on social media. So, if I didn't have a radio station that was reaching out to people, I would be making my stuff private as well.
Cool.
But I got to say, first and foremost to you guys, man, it was such an honor to be able to chop it up with you guys and just, talk about your most recent album and also find out that you guys have another album that's pretty much halfway done. That's honestly actually really cool because I'm a new fan of your guys' music. So I'm excited to know that there's actually more Chuck Spadina actually on the way, man. But for now, definitely have yourselves a phenomenal holiday season and a happy new year. And I'm pretty sure down the line we definitely shall talk again soon. But for now, definitely have yourselves a phenomenal night.
Thank you. Appreciate that you like the record.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah.
Thanks so much and happy holidays.
Hey man, you guys are most certainly welcome, and of course, happy holidays to you and yours as well.
Cool. Thank you so